Today we are talking about something very important.
Yes.
And especially very relevant right now, and that is kids going back to school.
Yes.
Specifically college kids. So for anybody that's watching this and you have a college student heading back to school, or if you are a college student heading back to school, and also we should say for those of our fans and our clients who have long past school, maybe they're snowbirds, right? This would apply to them as well, but we are talking about the 30-day auto insurance rule for non-residents.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
And so Michigan No Fault has a very strange but strict rule about who has to have Michigan insurance on their vehicles, what time period you have to do that, and what the consequences are for not having it. And that's what we're going to discuss today. A lot of people send their kids to school from out of state here in Michigan, and so you see a lot of license plates, Ohio license plates, California license plates, Florida license plates driving around in Michigan. A lot of those are students, and they probably have out-of-state insurance as well. And what they probably don't know is that they're not protected.
Right.
Right.
Coming to school here in Michigan, if you're from out of state, if you're an out-of-state resident, coming here to school and just having the insurance from your home state is not going to protect you.
Yes. So let's talk about that.
Okay.
So what is the 30-day auto insurance rule? Why do out-of-state residents and college students need to understand it? And what do we do if I'm an out-of-state college student?
So if you're an out-of-state college student, or if you're the parent of a out-of-state college student who's going to be coming here to Michigan, going to college, and you're going to be bringing your car, the thing that you need to keep in mind from an insurance perspective, and it's an added cost in addition to tuition and everything else, but the thing that you need to keep in mind is what we call the 30-day auto insurance rule for non-residents. It applies to anybody that's a non-resident that comes to Michigan. But we're talking today exclusively about out-of-state students who are going to be going to college here. And what the rule is, it's a long-standing rule. It's been on the books here in Michigan for a long time. Not a lot of people know about it, despite its long history. The few people that do seem to know about it are a little bit confused. We've written about this, we've talked about it for years. What the rule boils down to is this. If you are from out of state and you are driving a vehicle that you own, and you come to Michigan, and you're going to be driving here in Michigan for 30 days total or more during one calendar year, you need to get no-fault auto insurance for that vehicle.
Okay. Now you said something that I want to make crystal clear here. It's not 30 days in a row.
No.
Right?
No.
It is 30 days total.
Right.
In a calendar year.
The statute.
So this could even apply to mom and dad.
Exactly.
Who are coming to visit.
Right.
And if that vehicle that they're driving is in here, Michigan, for 30 days, if mom and dad get in an accident on the way back home,
right,
or on the way in here and they're in Michigan, they might not be covered.
I mean, yes, the strict language and the specific language of the statute would encompass the situation that you just described regarding a parent. We're talking about students because they're definitely going to be here for 30 days or more, and if they've got the car, they're definitely going to be driving for 30 days or more. But if you're a parent, if you're a family member, I know this is extreme and this really this rubs everybody wrong, but if you're one of those people and say you're going to be making frequent visits to visit your student that's going to college here, and if the sum total of those visits during a calendar year is more than 30 days, then arguably you have to comply with that rule, and if you don't, the consequences are very dire.
Okay. So get that, everybody. It's 30 days in a year. It's not 30 days in a row.
Right.
Okay.
Very important distinction.
Next distinction is who does it apply to? Is it now? Let's say I'm in college and my parents own the car. I don't even own the car.
Right.
I'm driving my parents' car that has out-of-state insurance. If I get in an accident and it's not my car, it's not titled in my name, am I still going to be penalized?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The way the no-fault law is written in Michigan, which this bill or this 30-day insurance rule is part of the no-fault law, but the way it's written is this rule would apply under two circumstances. One, if you're a non-resident, So if you're a resident of any state, anywhere else other than Michigan, this may apply to you. And also, if you are deemed the owner of the vehicle, it doesn't mean that you necessarily need to be the title holder to the vehicle to be an owner. That could make you an owner under Michigan law. The other way that you could become an owner is if you have use of the vehicle for 30 days or more. If you do, then you are, in the eyes of Michigan law and specifically the no-fault law, then you are an owner for those purposes, and you will be expected and required to comply with all the requirements of the no-fault law, including the 30-day insurance rule.
So it's 30 days again. So if it's not my car, but I have the use of it for 30 days, it is my car.
Yes.
Okay.
You are the owner. You will be, in the eyes of the law, you will be treated as an owner, and under the 30-day rule for non-residents, if you're also from out of state, you're non-resident, you're an owner, you're going to need to comply with that rule.
Okay. So you're not going to get out of this rule by saying it's not my car.
Right.
Now there's one more number that hopefully doesn't confuse everybody, but that's a 90-day rule.
Yes.
What's the 90-day rule?
The 90-day rule is the registration rule. It's the 90-day registration rule for non-residents again. And as you pointed out at the beginning of our discussion, this could apply to students from out of state who are going to college here. It could apply to snowbirds, tourists, anybody that's going to be in the state driving their own vehicle for 90 days or more has to get it registered here in Michigan.
So if it's here for 30 days, you better have Michigan insurance on it.
Exactly.
If it's here for 90 days, it better be registered with the state.
Exactly.
So you can drive a plated Florida vehicle as long as it has Michigan insurance,
Yes.
but no longer than 90 days.
Right.
Because then you got to plate it for Michigan.
Well, you have to get it registered. You don't have to switch plates back and
Okay.
forth. That is an issue, and it's a good issue. It's an important one. It's one that's brought up a lot. When we talk about the 90-day registration for non-residents, people have asked, what does that mean? I have to dump my registration in my home state, and anytime I go back and forth between the two for extended trips,
Yes.
do I have to keep switching? No, it does not.
You can be registered in multiple states.
You can be registered in multiple states. You can be insured in multiple states.
Okay. 30 days to insure, 90 days to register.
Yes.
You can register in multiple states.
Yes.
You can be insured in multiple states. All right. I think I'm following you. All right.
I know you are.
Okay. Now, somebody's going to say, well, what's the big deal? Maybe my car doesn't get fixed. Oops, I didn't have it. I guess I can't file a lawsuit against whoever hit me. What are the real consequences to not complying with these rules?
They're very serious. They're very serious. When we talk about this issue with other people, one of the things they gravitate to is, well, it's just a ticket. It's just a ticket. It's going to be a fine. Those are not insignificant. Nobody wants to pay a fine. It's between a $200 and $500 fine.
Which is
Not exactly.
small.
No,
Yeah.
that's not exactly pocket change. Technically, somebody that violates this law could also go to jail for up to a year.
Okay.
Those are significant. Those are significant consequences or sanctions for not following this law. But there's a lot more to it than that. And you alluded to it in your comment, which is, if you don't comply with this insurance rule, if you're from out of state, then you will be treated as an uninsured driver under Michigan law. And the sanctions are very severe, and the penalties are very draconian in Michigan for driving without insurance.
And what are those penalties?
One of the things is you will not be able to collect no-fault benefits. No-fault benefits, for those that do or do not know, will pay for medical expenses, they will pay for lost wages, they will pay for replacement services. They're incredibly important, invaluable benefits that are provided under the no-fault law. You will be categorically disqualified from collecting those benefits.
Okay.
If you get in a car accident and you did not comply with the 30-day rule for non-residents, and you get in the accident, you will be deemed uninsured, and then you will not be able to collect those benefits. You also will not be able to sue the at-fault driver for pain and suffering compensation. So even if you are 100% innocent in a car accident, you get in a car accident, it's determined that you did not comply with the rule and you're uninsured, you can't sue that other driver, no matter what they did. You will not be able to use the mini-tort to seek, to recover damages from the at-fault driver to fix your car. You will not be protected by the mini tort. If you were at fault, there would be no limit to your liability. So if you caused a crash and you're determined to be uninsured, the other driver could sue you for the full amount of damage to their vehicle.
You basically have no rights.
Yes.
Okay.
You are out in the cold.
Okay.
And there's one other item, and this is probably the most draconian of them all, and that is you could be liable, personally, financially liable, for any money that's spent that is paid out by an insurance company for no-fault benefits to anybody else that was injured in that crash, whether they were at fault, whether they were not at fault, whatever. And that could that could add up to hundreds of thousands of dollars. And that's a financial responsibility and obligation that nobody wants to sign on for.
So, if I can summarize, I'm driving here, I have my Illinois insurance on my car, but my car's been here for 31 days.
Yes.
I don't have Michigan insurance on it.
Right.
I get rear-ended, and the person behind me who rear-ended me gets hurt themselves. I can't sue them for anything.
Right.
I can't get my car fixed. I can't recover my own medical bills.
Yes.
And the person who caused the crash, they or their insurance company can sue me for whatever bills they have.
Precisely.
Okay. That's rough.
So it's a lot to think about.
That's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those are some pretty serious consequences to factor in and weigh when deciding whether or not to take this insurance rule seriously.
Okay. So, if you have any more questions, call us. We can put you in touch with an independent insurance agent who you should certainly talk to about getting your college student covered properly. We can answer any questions or clarification issues that you might have. Todd will be available for you because he knows us all. I'll be available for you. Before we sign off here, let's just check to see if anybody has any questions that have come in while we've been here. But I think this is very helpful. It's scary.
Yes.
But it's certainly better to know now than after you get in a crash.
To find this out after the fact is just devastating.
Yep.
So we do have one question. So if I'm from Ohio and I have Ohio car insurance, I should be covered. I'm not driving without insurance because I do have the Ohio car insurance and I'm not considered uninsured. Why do you guys keep saying you'd be driving uninsured? Are you suggesting that I get both? That's unfair and extremely costly.
Yes to unfair, yes to extremely costly, and yes, we're suggesting that if you're going to be driving that Ohio vehicle in Michigan for more than 30 days total during 1 year, you're gonna need to get insurance. That's what this rule is saying.
And whoever asked that question, thank you for asking it.
Yeah, it's a great question.
It's a great question. It doesn't seem fair, and your reaction of maybe being upset about it is a reaction we get a lot. We get these calls, and we have to, unfortunately, be the messengers of bad news a lot.
Yes.
Because a lot of people, the calls that we're getting are after the fact.
Right.
So it's a big reason why we're doing these live feeds now is to get this information out to people beforehand, so that you can protect yourself properly. Michigan is a funny state with insurance laws. A lot of people don't understand them, so they don't make sense a whole lot. They don't seem fair, but those are the rules, and we're just trying to let everybody know what they are so that you can be safe out there and know that you're covered. Even when you think that you are and you might not be. So
can I just follow up on one thing that the question, the person who asked the question, I can see why that person would ask that, because if you do have insurance from another state and you come here, naturally, I have insurance. Yeah. But the reason that this is an issue is because under the no-fault law, it says that if you're a non-resident, you're here for more than 30 days, you need to get the insurance. But what the no-fault law also says is that the insurance you need to get is a no-fault auto insurance policy that is issued by a Michigan no-fault auto insurance company, which is an auto insurance company that is specifically licensed and authorized to do business here. So that's why an Ohio policy or something else from another state, even if it says that it may cover no fault, to comply with this rule, you need to have that policy from the insurer who's authorized to do business here.
Yeah, and that's largely because different states have different laws, and insurance laws and insurance requirements are different in each state.
Absolutely.
And so Michigan
Very.
has made the determination that they don't, if you are in Michigan, you have to comply with the requirements in Michigan, and so for an extended period of time, and I think that's why it's 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it doesn't seem fair, and we sympathize with you. So,
Thank you.
Todd, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Brian.
And we'll see you guys
Thank you
next
for the
time.
kind words.
Visit us on our website, michiganautolaw.com. Continue to follow us on Facebook. Send us messages. We can respond to them through Facebook or through email. Follow us on Twitter. And reach out to us. Give us a call. Send us an email. If you have any questions or concerns, we're here to help. And we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you.